hello everyone, welcome back to the Sports Social podcast. It's just me and Jamie today. Nick is away doing other things, but he will be back next week, hopefully. And it's just me and Jamie, and we're going to be talking about, three, different topics today. We're going to be talking about the Euros rounding up match day one for all the teams. It was a fascinating match day one for everyone, I guess. Valverde scored, by the way. Put that in there. We're going to be talking about the YouTubers versus TikTokers boxing event, which was very, very interesting. Actually, saw a lot of underdogs winning. And then we'll also talk about how Boris Johnson has set some new rules on attendances at certain sporting venues over the next few weeks. But Jamie, let's start off with the Euros.
Get into it.
Who's the best team so far to have performed?
It's definitely Italy. I'm sure you'll agree. We've now seen them play twice, and they won them both 3-0. First one was 3-0 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, second was 3-0, but they just look a different class. I mean,
comfortable, both games.
Yeah, I don't know. Just their passages of play is just absolutely outstanding. They look a class above any other team. And I will say this now. Will say this now. France will not win the Euros.
That's a big statement. I mean, to be fair, France,
Euros. We'll
get into that France game, but you don't think they will? You think, who are you saying, Italy then?
I do think Italy, honestly. I do think Italy. They're just a different class at the minute. And I think Mancini has absolutely rejuvenated this Italian side that's been kind of voided out of international football since 2006, really.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, they looked ridiculous last night. Just on the break, I mean, Switzerland, to be fair, they've always qualified for all the tournaments. That's all they always do. They're quite good outside of tournaments, which makes them in the top 15 in the world. But they were passengers. Italy were just lethal.
Switzerland don't look too bad. And we'll talk about Group A in a bit more depth now. Wales have played their two games, have drawn and won. They look interesting. They're not a bad side. They have some good players there. Switzerland as well. Switzerland have a very good all-round squad. No one to scream home about, for sure, but they do have a very, very well-rounded squad. And by my eyes, they've underperformed, losing 3-0 to Italy. They really shouldn't be. I can understand Italy beating them. That's expected, but
3-0.
To go out of a damper like that is nah.
Yeah.
You can't be having that.
I mean, 2 of the goals were long shots, to be fair, to Switzerland, but also quite good long shots. I mean, Immobile's one probably could have been saved.
I think Locatelli's one was class. It was pure class.
It was ridiculous.
It's just not great from Switzerland. I don't see them progressing. I think
it looks like Wales have got it now. 4 points.
Italy and Wales.
It would have to be a howler from Wales. I think they have to lose 3-0 and Switzerland have to win 2-0 to just level it. So
who's the other team in Group A? It's Turkey. Turkey. Yeah. Not impressed with Turkey at all. Everyone thought they would be the dark horse. I don't know if I said they were going to be, but I said they had a good rounded squad.
Yeah.
On paper, yeah. I mean, realistically, do they? I mean, looking at them play, no. I
mean, you've got like a league decent striker this season in Yilmaz and Soyuncu from Leicester, who's a great centre back. They've also got a good goalkeeper, I think, but I can't remember his name. So they've got some good players, but yeah, they've massively underperformed, I think.
Yeah, I think everyone had really high expectations for them. I think in international friendlies, we've seen them beat the Netherlands, my team, 4-1. And I think they beat France as well. And
Jesus.
And everyone thought they were going to, take the Euros by storm, and they just haven't. So I don't think they'll get through. I think it will be it will look to be Italy
Italy and Wales, isn't it?
Italy and Wales, but
which is good.
I do believe Switzerland do stand a chance of going through third place. I think they'll beat Turkey. I think Turkey are hands down the worst team in that group, and I think Switzerland will beat Turkey. If they beat Turkey, they're on 4 points. And obviously, depending on goal difference, it defers who is third place out of Wales and Switzerland. And I think 4 points is enough for a third place side to go through. I believe it definitely is near enough.
Did you see the Wales game?
I didn't. I was working, unfortunately. I've only just
Gareth Bale. As much as he missed He took an awful penalty. Aside from that, he played fantastic, made several chances, made both the goals, carried Wales, was a key part in their win. Maybe it'll help them progress. I mean, they did well in the last Euros. It's probably a tournament quite close to their heart after the last one. So,
and I think it's somewhere where they'll definitely want to progress in. Obviously, the fans are very passionate of Wales, and wish them all the best of luck. And another thing that I noticed in that game, which was extraordinary from a Turkey defensive point of view, Wales did the same thing over and over. Aaron Ramsey had about 5 chances similar to this. A simple ball over the top, and Turkey didn't think after the first ball over the top that was successful. Yes, Ramsey missed, but they didn't think to, let's bring an offside trap here.
Yeah.
Aaron Ramsey was played onside, but every single one of them only scored one. Should have scored, I think, 3 or 4 in the end. But
yeah, I mean, you would have thought they'd say, like, lads, maybe let's drop a few yards when players get on the ball in the middle of the park, but just kept happening. Luckily, Wales didn't even punish them. I mean, they had some chances themselves a little bit at the end, a couple of headers, but Wales had it.
Home about, was it?
Big old Joe Rodon, Tottenham representative. Hard man at the back.
But I think we're all in agreement at the minute that it's looking to be Italy first, Wales second, Switzerland third.
Wales will probably lose to Italy last game. But
I don't think they'll lose by too much. I think Wales are really, really underappreciated at the international level. I think when it comes to the big competitions, if they're in it, such as the Euro, such as the World Cup, if they're in it, I think that sort of the pride to play in those competitions kind of outweighs the talent that they have compared to other teams.
They give me Leicester vibes, Wales, to be honest.
100%. Yeah. I do get that, yeah.
Massive team spirit, kind of. That's what they are. So fair play to them.
100%. But we'll move on to Group B, and there is a game currently going on in Group B, I believe. Belgium-Denmark.
What is the score? Because last time I checked...
2-1 Belgium last time I checked. I checked downstairs as soon as I got home from work. I believe Denmark went ahead after 3 minutes as well. Belgium.
That's why I'm gutted. Oh, it's 92nd minute, 2-1.
I will just touch on something. I believe, I know me and Jamie both probably want to say this. Obviously, there was an incident that happened in a Group B game between Denmark and Finland, and we wish Christian Eriksen the speediest of recoveries after what happened to him in that game. But moving on to the, I guess, more football analytical side of it, Belgium, they were fantastic in their open against Russia, weren't they?
They were comfortable 3-0 win. Lukaku in on the goals, of course. You could put money on it. He hasn't scored today, to be fair, but Thorgan Hazard and De Bruyne have stepped up to the plate. They just got those kind of players that will get the job done. And I mean, I haven't been able to watch this game, but just looking at the scoreline, the fact Denmark were 1-0 up, maybe they weren't performing as well as they did against Russia. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Denmark are a very, very good side. I think they would have beaten Finland if the situation that happened didn't happen. I reckon they would have been able to beat Finland.
Yeah, I agree.
I think but on a whole, Belgium, like you say, they have the players to finish off the group stages and finish first comfortably. Likes of Lukaku, likes of De Bruyne, likes of Eden Hazard, Yannick Carrasco. The list goes on. But on a whole, when it comes to the knockout stages, you can see them get into the quarterfinals and comfortably maybe get through from the quarterfinals into the semis. Yeah. But then they falter. I just don't think they have as well-rounded team compared to some of the other countries. You look at the likes of, as we mentioned, Italy, even France, who said that they won't win the Euros. I'm still going to stand by that. But Germany, Portugal, I just don't think Belgium have that well-rounded team, personally. I think they're very, very blessed in their attacking outlets. But when it comes to the defensive ones, Jan Vertonghen's aging. Toby Alderweireld isn't that great anymore. I think even you'd admit that. I don't really rate them defensively, and I think they will be liable to ship in a few goals when they come up against the better sides. 100%.
That is true. I mean, they play with a back three. Vertonghen's not what he was. Alderweireld's good, but he's been better. So it's true, and I think definitely France, Germany, Italy could capitalise. I mean, Belgium, like you said, have great attacking players, but I just think from past experience, they're gonna underperform. I'm getting that impression for some reason. but we'll see. This is their chance to silence everyone. But on the topic of the big teams, Germany and France played each other, and
we'll get on to Group E in a bit. We're already in Group B, Jamie. God, you're getting way too early.
I'm just so excited by the fixture.
So excited, aren't you? We've still got a few teams to mention, like Finland, for example. You know, they got 3 points. Depending on what other teams in the group get, they could potentially finish third, which could see them go.
When you think about it,
that is great. If they would have got a draw against Russia, they would have been near enough into the last 16. That would have been crazy from Finland. But I just don't see what Finland offer, apart from Teemu Pukki. I don't really see what they offer. Hradecky in goal is actually a fantastic keeper. I'll give him that. Hradecky and Pukki, apart from that, I just don't see what
Actually, that's not bad, is it?
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad 2 players.
That's about it.
That is about it. I can't see them getting out that group. Denmark, I think, are just really unfortunate of how things kind of panned out. But then again, we say Russia. Obviously, Russia got the 3 points. I think it is shaping up to be Belgium, Russia to go through as top 2.
Well, I mean, who have Denmark got to play last game?
Russia.
So that literally is whoever wins. Oh, actually, hold on.
I don't think Finland will beat Belgium.
Denmark aren't going to get through, are they? It's not possible. Pretty much.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Oh, just on 3 points, best third place.
Yeah, because the fact is, Russia have only won 1 game and lost 1. Finland have won 1, lost 1. Denmark have lost 2, but if Denmark win against Russia, every team bar Belgium is on 3 points. And if Belgium beat Finland, which is undoubtedly going to happen, so it's going to be a very interesting final match day for Group B.
Absolutely.
But for me, I'm kind of seeing it as I'm going to have to say Belgium, Russia.
I think Denmark might get it, but
I want Denmark to get it. I want them to, but
they go down to goal difference.
I don't know, but we'll have to find out. It'll be an interesting last match day for Group B, definitely.
For sure.
But we'll move on to Group C. This is where I get happy.
Here we go.
I'm a bit nervous. Ukraine won today against North Macedonia 2-1. North Macedonia, I think they're finishing rock bottom. We know that. They lost 3-1 to Austria, 2-1 to Ukraine. They've still got the Netherlands to play. I don't see the Netherlands falter. Austria were fantastic in their opener though against North Macedonia. We can't forget that. Winning 3-1. I believe they're the side to finish second place. I believe it's going to be between them and Ukraine fighting for that second place.
Well, I mean, so Austria already have the 3 points. It's probably going to help them.
Ukraine have that 3 points as well now, because I just hold on being too much for any team in this group stage.
I mean, to be fair, almost slipped up the Ukraine. Just going to put that out there, almost.
That's the thing, though. Did you watch the game by any chance, Jamie?
I only watched the highlights. I missed that.
Holland could have been 5-6-0 up by half time. So many chances wasted. Jorginho Wijnaldum had a few. Dumfries could have had a hat trick from right back, and
he could have actually.
Just didn't put our chances away. It could have been 6-0. There's just 4 minutes where we had a lapse of concentration, and we conceded. You could see just then how much we missed the likes of Jasper Cillessen in goal, Virgil van Dijk, Matthijs de Ligt, just players like that, key players that we've missed, and we still managed to.
Who was playing at centre back?
We had Julian Timber, I think his name is, young lad from Ajax. Then we had Daley Blind, and who was the other one?
Oh, so why wasn't De Ligt in the team?
He was injured. There was one more centre back. We played 3 at the back. Daley Blind, Julian Timber, Nathan Ake was on the bench. God, who was the other centre back? Who what? Oh, De Vrij, yes, De Vrij, yes. Yeah. There we go. The missing man, De Vrij. There we are. Yeah, that was a back 3. We had Patrick Van Aanholt at left wing back. Denzel Dumfries, who is a player to watch this tournament, by the way, a fantastic young right back. He's
linked with who's he linked with? Everton and someone else, I think, in the Premier League.
Right, he looks the real business. If he could, finish, if he could actually finish, he'd be a goal scoring right back. He'd be like the next Tony Hibbert.
Finishes the transfer.
But yeah, Yeah, he only scored one goal. It was a sarcastic comment. Don't worry.
Was Tony Hibbert the one that played for Everton?
Yes, he was.
What a guy! That is actually a throwback right there.
What are we talking about Tony Hibbert when we talk about Holland? But yeah, so
Wout Weghorst.
Wout Weghorst up front. Honestly, watch him. He fits Holland's new system really, really well. Balls come to him in the box. We play with wing backs and they play really high up. They get crosses in, and Wout Weghorst will meet them. Honestly, Wout Weghorst's golden boot. I'm still going to keep that. He'll get a brace tonight against Austria. This will come out tomorrow, and he won't get a brace, and he'll probably get sent off or something just because I've said it. But then again, my prediction's been fairly solid from the last podcast, so I'm kind of.
No, to be fair, you've been on with your predictions. I love Weghorst's striker style. I think
it's just something else, isn't it?
And I mean, just from seeing him this year, I mean, I'd love him to replace Harry Kane at Tottenham. I don't think it'll happen, but that's the dream because I just think he's fantastic, and he'll probably get another one this evening.
Oh, hopefully. But this will come out obviously Friday. Today's Thursday. We're filming this Thursday, so if I'm on the loose, please don't give me too much stick. But yeah, so I think we're all in agreement. Probably Netherlands will finish top. I'm going to say Austria to finish second. I think they'll have too much for Ukraine. Ukraine to finish third, and North Macedonia to finish last. I think that's our prediction for the end of Group C. We'll move on to Group D. Jamie, I believe this is all England, isn't it? England obviously beating Croatia. Having Scotland tomorrow night. The podcast will be out just before the Scotland game, about 2 hours beforehand. So if you want to go check it out before the Scotland game and find out our thoughts, keep watching. Love it. But yeah. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow.
We should win the group. And I heard a stat the other day which baffled me, which is the commentator was saying something like 9 points doesn't come around often in the Euros. A team hasn't got all 3 wins in a group stage since like 2012 with Germany, and they were the only team. And then before then, it's been a while. Not many teams win all 3 games, but really, I'd be disappointed if England don't get 9 points. I'd be disappointed if Italy don't. It's bound to happen. And I think
there is light and day now between, I think, the better footballing countries and the mediocre ones. There is now a clear difference.
Yeah.
And not only that, England. I mean, I wouldn't say England will get 9 points too early because we've got to remember I think it was the first qualifying game England lost in 10 years was against the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
So that last game could be a bit of a nightmare for your 9-point dream, but should still happen. It is an international tournament. Players should be up for it. But I think we're in agreement for England top, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. They should top it. I mean, did you watch the Croatia-England game?
I did, yeah.
I mean, it was pretty comfortable from England. I mean, Croatia were probably poor, but England were in control the whole game. Calvin Phillips had a masterclass. What a man. Didn't expect him to start. He ran the show in midfield. He probably earned his place in the next game tomorrow night, which I didn't think I'd ever say.
Would you start Jack Grealish tomorrow?
I think because it's Scotland, which is almost sounds a bit demeaning, but because it's Scotland, and I think we'll have a lot of the ball. I don't think we'd have a lot of the ball with Croatia, but we did. I think we could afford to drop a Calvin Phillips as much as he played well and put Mount further back, play Grealish.
Yeah.
Have more players to unlock doors going forward because I think Scotland are going to sit back, probably absorb, and we're going to have to try and get through them. So I'd play a Grealish personally.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. I think Jack Grealish is a wasted talent on the bench. He, for me, is England's best creative player by a country mile. So yeah, I think you've got to start him. But who's going to come second in this group? Obviously, we've seen the Czech Republic obviously win against Scotland. That Patrick Schick won the goal.
3 points. Who'd have thought? Yeah.
From
what a goal that was.
Halfway. That was incredible. And yeah, it looks like Scotland are probably going to go down with a whimper. They'll probably finish bottom. So I'm going to say Czech Republic to finish second. I'll do you know what? Patrick Schick.
Czech Republic.
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah. definitely. I don't see the hype around Croatia. I think Czech Republic will get a win over Croatia. You know.
I don't think. I think Croatia. Yeah, they didn't look good v England, but it's Croatia. They just have too much talent. I think they've got to come second. They'll pull it out. They'll probably. I know Czech Republic could be high on spirit, but I think Croatia will get probably 2 wins now and finish second.
I think this is the first time we're in disagreement, Jamie. I've obviously gone Czech Republic. You've gone Croatia second.
Yeah,
but we'll move on to Group E. Yeah, Group E. So that is Spain's group, I believe. Spain, Sweden. Now lost to the other 2 teams. Who are the other 2 teams in that group, Jamie?
Spain, Sweden.
Poland, Slovakia. There we go. Poland, Slovakia.
Well remembered.
Slovakia beat Poland 2-1, by the way. Poland don't look like they're going to threaten. Sweden look very decent.
They didn't look great, and Szczesny scored an own goal. Poor man.
I'm not going to lie. I think Spain are going to finish 3rd.
That's a huge statement. Spain 3rd.
Yeah, no.
They drew with Sweden. I remember because I was in a pub and I walked in. I saw on the screen it was 0-0 about the 50th minute, and I was thinking, what's going on? So
yeah,
I couldn't believe it. I mean, their squad is definitely the weakest I've seen for years.
I think Sweden will top it. I think Sweden will win their next 2 games, but I think Slovakia will beat Spain. I just think they've got some sort of grit about them where they'll beat Spain.
That would be amazing.
And I think Spain will draw to Poland as well.
That one.
Yeah,
I have to disagree with there. I think Spain look poor, but I think they've got enough quality to beat Poland. I think, and they should get 4 points.
Goal and they're in the early minutes, and they're fighting back to get an equaliser, not till the 90th minute. But that's my opinion. I thought I'd go with something a bit outside the box for this one. Obviously, my predictions always, sometimes do come true. If this one comes true, then Jesus Christ, Spain fans, don't come and kill me. I'm gonna have that. That Spanish TV presenter that did the whole bloody Eden Hazard thing when Eden Hazard laughed and when Real Madrid got knocked out of the Champions League semi-final. The Spanish are going to do that to me. They get finished 3rd. That's what's going to happen. But yeah, I think that's my prediction. What's yours? Nice. What's yours for the group?
Yours is certainly controversial, but I think Slovakia will top it now. Actually, I think I can see them getting 6 points, and I can see Spain coming second on 4. That's what it is for me, I think.
Yeah, that's fair enough. We'll move over to, is it the last group? No, is it? It is.
It is the last group. It is.
The last group.
One.
For me, Portugal finished 1st. France finished 2nd.
All right.
But Portugal only top it on goal difference. I think the game between Portugal and France will finish as a draw. Portugal will beat Germany 2-0. I think Germany will only get their win against Hungary.
I mean, couple things to say on this, right? I watched both the games from the group, and Hungary nearly took Portugal. They nearly did. Their goal was offside by that much. They were going to go 1-0 up with 10 minutes left. I think they would have held it. And
100%. But that's football, though. But Portugal have the talent to dismantle a team in the final 10 minutes of a game.
They did. It all fell apart. I mean, it all fell apart within 5 minutes. I mean, what was it? Was it a penalty and then the second goal? Was it the goal and then a penalty? But either way,
Guerrero scored. Then
it was no goal.
10, and then Ronaldo got his second. But I just think Portugal topping it because I think they've got talent all around that squad. People don't realise how much talent is in that Portugal squad. Yeah, I can see them topping the group. France will finish 2nd for me, I think, mainly because of goal difference. I wasn't impressed with them. I really wasn't. Everyone talks up France to be this, massive world-beating team. Don't get me wrong, Germany weren't great on the night in the opening game between Germany and France. Germany weren't great, but neither were France. I just didn't.
Yeah, but I felt
there was moments. Don't get me wrong. There was moments where you could see there was quality, but I just didn't. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. I felt in that game, Germany, there were many times where it was like, oh, almost ball. Like a couple of times that could have happened, and they actually had most of the ball for most of the game. But I mean, we're down playing France. They look lethal on the counter, and actually, they had 2 or 3 goals disallowed. What was it? 2 or 3. Benzema scored one.
Yeah.
Mbappe's finish that was disallowed.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Benzema's goal, tightest offside you'll ever see.
Yeah.
There's 2, and there might have been another one disallowed. So really, if you on another day, France actually could have comfortably beaten Germany there. So I think,
but
I just
don't see them winning the group. I just don't.
I think France will beat Portugal. For me, Portugal struggled to break down Hungary. They got a lucky own goal. They got a penalty. And then the Ronaldo goal at the end was just to top it off. Whereas France, they clearly unlocked Germany. It was just a matter of very fine margins. I think France will do the same to Portugal, especially on the break, because Portugal probably want to attack as well.
That's fair. There we go. But that's the Euros talk over with. Do you want, Jamie, I'll get your answer now. Who's going to win the Euros?
Ooh.
After you see match day 1 and a bit of match day 2 now, who's going to win the Euros?
Did say France. Part of me wants to stick with it because they are pretty solid at the back, but so are Italy. Do you know how long Chiellini's out for?
I don't know.
Because that might be influential.
I don't think it will be.
We'll go with Italy. Next week, I'll probably say France again.
Yeah, I'm a trendsetter, Jamie. I remember I said Italy last week, and now look at you. Trendsetter, mate. But yeah, that is it for the Euros. We'll move on now to YouTube versus TikTok boxing event. Obviously, big event last week. You've had the likes of UK YouTubers Deji and then Isom Gibb fighting that. Deji lost his fight against Vinny Hacker. However, an Isom Gibb versus Taylor Holder was kind of the more controversial fight of the night. Obviously, an Isom Gibb. I looked at the highlights and the replay of the of the boxing match. I didn't stay up to watch it because absolutely I was not going to do that. But I looked at the highlights and the rematch, and Isom Gibb absolutely
could never stay up for that.
Absolutely battered him, and
was making the news that he was robbed. He said it in his post-fight interview.
Yeah,
like how.
Yeah, no, he was completely robbed. Even from, you could tell from the highlights of the fight. And then a few days later, he gets a letter saying that he won and they made the wrong decision. So he did win the fight in the end, which is fantastic because he deserved it. And I think for him, that road to redemption after losing to Jake Paul the way he did is fantastic. But yeah, obviously we had the Bryce Hall versus.
I was gonna say because I thought I'd heard about.
Yeah. Oh, I think Jamie's frozen. So I'll carry on. Oh no, he's back. Jamie, are you back?
Sorry, the Wi-Fi's not on our side. I think so. Wi-Fi's not on our side here.
Anyway, carry on.
Crikey. No, I was just saying that I was going to ask about the Gibb, because it was obviously a draw, but he got a letter. I didn't even know that, but I heard about
socials
getting the win. So that's good. It's good to see a British fighter getting the win, especially against TikTokers. Yeah. What were you saying just then?
So I was going to go talk about the Bryce Hall and Austin Broom fight, where Bryce Hall bigged himself up to be a bloody street fighter with over 40 fights before the boxing match, saying he's a natural fighter and then loses. It's absolutely obliterated.
And if you talk too much, it's not looking good if you lose.
Exactly, he called out KSI before he even had the fight, and then he gets absolutely slapped up in the ring. But all in all, do you think these sort of events between, I guess, social media influencers, do you think they do well for the sport?
No, not at all. I think actually it takes away the credibility of boxing. Because now, like, anyone can just fight anyone, and also it shows, it kind of lowers what you think the level is at when you see
Well, Jamie's
people that have trained for maybe 2 years beating decent fighters. Logan, Logan he's only been like training, fighting for like what, 2 years, and he went 8 rounds with Mayweather. Like, you know, it's possible, and I think it's just lowered the standard.
You think that you only have to do 2 years of boxing to go into the ring as a pro fighter? It doesn't quite work like that. Like, people train their lives to become a boxer. So I get your part of it. I mean, it does bring a whole new audience into the sport, brings viewers, I guess, but is that more of a money thing rather than them actually understanding the sport itself? But then again, in football, you know, we do charity matches with, you know, footballers, with celebrities, ex-pros,
as well.
For example, like Soccer Aid or something. So I guess that's similar to these YouTuber TikTok fights in some way or another. But moving on to the final subject of the podcast, we're going to talk about how Boris Johnson has allowed full capacity at Wimbledon and 50% capacity for the knockout rounds of the Euros at Wembley Stadium. Is this a step in the right direction after hearing the news that for the Freedom Day has been set back to the 19th of July?
I think it's good, because I must say it was quite a downer to see that it had been pushed back pretty much a month. Especially, I'd been hearing that the final was going to get like the full capacity, but 50% is good. That's decent. Like at Wembley, that's what, 45,000 people. So like that's pretty good. That's definitely an atmosphere. Absolutely motivation for England.
100%. Jamie's
to get it, especially if you get through to the knockouts.
And he's back. God, Jamie, your Wi-Fi, Christ, it's nearly as bad as Turkey in the Euros. There we go. Got there in the end. But yeah, no, it is fantastic to see 50,000 at 45,000 at 40,000 at Wembley. I got from 50 all the way down to 40 there. But Wimbledon getting 100% capacity. Do you think
does Wimbledon start?
I believe it's around the same time as the knockout stages. I'm not a big tennis fan myself.
It must be.
I get there's going to be smaller attendances, but the fact is, you're going to have, like, there's going to be no social distancing there.
It must be because the venues are smaller. That's all I can think of. I think it's easier to
control, isn't it? At that sort of those sort of numbers of attendance, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I assume main court at Wimbledon is like 25,000 or something. I don't really know.
Maybe control them, wouldn't it? But it is definitely a step in the right direction. Obviously, after, like you said, we've heard about, you know, the 4 weeks extra that we haven't got our Freedom Day. It's kind of a bit of a it hurt. But however, it's positive news that we, you know, 50% capacity at Wembley Stadium.
We're getting there, slowly but surely. I mean, I don't know if you saw the news as well today, probably a couple hours back. Nadal's come out and said he won't be playing at Wimbledon, and he also won't be playing at Tokyo Olympics. Which when's that going to start as well? But point is, Nadal, big name, not turning up to either of them. So clearly an injury maybe, or he wants time off. But he'll be a big miss to the tournament.
Wow. And there's a police car outside your house, Jamie. What have you been up to? No, that is interesting to know why he's done that. Has he come out and said why he's not competing, or?
No, all I saw was the headline, unfortunately, just saying he won't play at them. But it might be an opportunity for some of the younger or more upcoming players that are getting involved in the later knockout stages to push for their first major tournament. Or it could just be the same for Djokovic, Federer, and Murray, all of them lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a tennis man, but yeah, no, it does sound interesting to maybe see some newer younger names in the tennis world come to the very, very top. But I believe we've covered everything here on this week's Sports Social podcast. But yeah, I mean, if let us, you guys let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below on anything that you disagree with on this podcast, or agree with, or want to start a debate. Just let us know in the comment section below. Also, go follow mine and Jamie's socials and the Sports Social podcast socials. God, Sports Social podcast socials. God, that's a tongue twister and a half, that one. And also go like and subscribe to this video. Also turn on that notification bell so you never miss a video when we upload. We upload, this podcast weekly, and we upload clips from the podcast throughout that week as well. So you don't want to miss those. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, you can get the clips as well. But anyway, guys, I guess we'll see you later.